Hi everyone, it's Kaleem Joy, licensed midwife and certified pediatric massage therapist. I'm coming to you on our live Facebook for Natural Childbirth 101. As we're waiting for everyone to join us, as I was getting ready to start my live tonight, I had to watch the clock and I had to be patient. And that patient was for 1 minute. So I was sitting there watching, it's 6:29, it's 6:29, it's 6:29. And I'm thinking, I'm going to talk about patience tonight. And this is a good example. So sometimes we can sit and watch like a watched pot. And that old myth is if you watch a pot, it will never boil. Well, I believe that about women too. So our topic tonight is about peaches and patience. Peaches and patience. So what I want to just continue to open until we have more of our people with us tonight is that patience is something that is really important in life to learn as well as to practice. And even being mindful and sitting quietly for 2 to 10 minutes can help us to learn patience and mindfulness. So I want to talk to you tonight about peaches and patience. So what in the world do those have to do with birth and pregnancy and babies and children and breastfeeding and all of the things that go into, the childbearing years? So I want you to imagine for a moment that you have some lovely fruit trees. And your fruit trees, each fruit tree has its own little buds that start in the springtime, right? And those little buds, they start out very small and they just start to bud a little bit more, and of course they flower, and then the fruit starts to grow. And as the fruit starts to grow, it begins to enlarge and it begins to develop, and over the course of time, those little tiny buds become peaches. And the peaches, when you go out and look at them, they look fabulously delicious. And they have that beautiful peachy glow sort of on one or two sides, and a little bit of that yellow, orange, and that rosy colored. They're just beautiful to look at. And when you look at them, you want to pick one to take inside and to eat. And when you go to get it off the tree, you go and you kind of pull on it, but it won't come. And you think, oh, it's not ripe yet, but it looks ripe, but it's not ripe yet. So you wait a day or two, and then you go out and you try and pull on the peach again, and it still won't come. Because if you pull on the peach too early, even if it looks ripe, that it won't be as sweet and you might break the branches, right? So you want to be able to wait until the peach is ripe. So a few more days go by and you go outside and you look at that peach and you reach out and you take a hold of it, and all of a sudden that peach just falls in your hand. You hardly had to touch it before it fell into your hand. And that peach is ripe and doing well. And so you take it inside and you begin to enjoy the sweetness of that peach that's ripe because you know that it's really ready. So patience. When a birth giver is pregnant, throughout the pregnancy, you've got times in the beginning when that peach really needs to be left alone on the tree and allowed itself to really grow and develop and become what it needs to be and form all of those beautiful organs inside their heart and lung and brain and kidneys and all of that, and being able to just really leave them alone and let them get their house made, if you will. As the pregnancy goes through, we get that enjoyment time. And as it moves into that last trimester and you get within about 4 weeks, 6 weeks of birth, most birth givers start to feel that ripening. They begin to notice their hormones start shifting. They get a little softer. Their bellies are starting to grow more than they had in the earlier months. And as you get into that last week or so before the baby comes, there's a lot of ripening that happens. You're having a lot more cramping and contractions, and things are opening a little bit, and hormones are shifting, your ligaments and muscles are getting soft, your pelvis is spreading open, your baby's getting nice and well down into that pelvis and getting pressure onto the cervix so that the cervix wants to do its job, and it starts getting ready. But on one day you think, oh, the baby's going to come because I'm having enough contractions, even if they haven't really crossed over yet. You're having enough, and you think, oh, they've been around for 2 or 3 hours. Surely everything's going to go, but I'm feeling tired. I think I'll lay down and go to bed. And you do, and you maybe have a few during the night, but you wake up in the morning and you're like, why didn't the baby come? Well, because the peach wasn't ripe yet. It looked ripe. It was acting right, but it wasn't ready yet. And part of that is your body, and part of that is the baby's body. The two of you are getting in sync with each other. And getting in sync means that you are able to really work together as a team. So patience, and really honoring that ripening process and how wonderful and lovely that it is. So when you're going a few more days and you think, surely this is going to be it. And then you begin to go, maybe it will never be. Maybe I'll keep doing this for a long time. Well, truth is, you don't. The baby eventually comes out. But when you give it a chance to do that ripening and really have a chance to let you and the baby become a great team, things go so much better. Even if there are times when you're like, I just want somebody to kick it over the edge. I just want somebody to start it up for me. I want you to really think about that if you're not overdue, and that's where the patience game comes in. If you're 38 weeks and you just feel so ripe, if you're 41 weeks and you just feel so ripe, and surely the baby's got to be here, maybe somebody can do something to make this happen. I want you to really think about whether that's the best choice, to bring some intervention in. Is it really the best choice? And it might be, but it's just something to think about and question. So the peach on the tree and ripening up as a woman, it is important to have patience. Patience for that labor to start on its own, getting as much rest as you can, eating and drinking and doing the things that need to be done so that you can have the best birth possible with your baby in your own health and circumstances. So I hope that this has given you food for thought, and that pun was completely intended, and that you will share this live video with as many people as you can, because maybe that will give them that thought that maybe reaching out for, an induction when it isn't really necessary. If it is necessary because baby's health or mom's health or something is pointing that way, well then, go for it. But when it's not, and you're just thinking, I'm just tired of being pregnant, your baby isn't. Your baby's not tired of being pregnant yet. And let that baby finish ripening up. You will do a fantastic job. I believe in you, and you can believe in yourself because your baby believes in you 100%. Okay? So I'm having fun giving these Facebook Lives. I've been recording the 40 Days Gifts for You. We've recorded 20 of them now. We're going to be starting to release them for you on a daily basis. And I hope that you'll share and that you'll come on board, that you'll watch all of them. They're very much meant to give you a succession of things that are part of this whole process of pregnancy, birth, and we will go into breastfeeding, and we will go into parenting and into that early infancy and how to work with that. There's things for partners and dads. There's things about not being a spectator at the birth. You know, it's not a spectator sport. We're talking about Pitocin and epidurals and all of these various things. So please join me and watch these videos, gain the insight, share them with others, because my goal is to reach as many women as I can, as many birth givers as I can, so that they are able to own their own birth, whatever way that needs to be. And that includes a planned cesarean. All right? I want to make that really clear. That includes a planned cesarean. If you are someone who needs to have a planned cesarean, make it the birth you want. Tell them as much as you can within the scope of what has to be done with the surgery, of things that are important to you and your baby, and really ask for those and be able to have the birth you want. Home, freestanding birth center, hospital, doesn't matter. The peach is all the same. The peach has to stay on the tree until it's ripe, and when it's ripe, it'll fall in your hand, and when it falls in your hand, your labor starts, and you'll have a much better and smoother birth because your hormones and your chemicals and your baby and everything is there for you to have the best birth possible. So here's my closing line always. I hope that you will go in. Thank you for all the little hearts, everybody. That you will go in, give your children a hug, tell them that you love them. Tell them how amazing they are and how grateful you are that they're going to become the person that they're going to become. And I'm going to jump over to Instagram, and I'm going to give them the same thing as much as comes freely from me. And I hope you'll share it. And we'll see you tomorrow, unless the babies call me otherwise. Soon I'm going to be in Florida, so we'll be doing these from Florida, where my mom lives, and then from Texas, where children live. And I'm looking forward to sharing you some adventures there. If you have something you're interested in, please leave me a comment. Help me to know if there are particular things you're interested in, and I will do my best to give you whatever that wisdom and insight is as a midwife for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.